This particular lesson today is for the backhander and for the person looking for the proper sequence in their golf swing. So we're going to kill two birds with one stone here. Pardon me, I don't want to offend any animal lovers out there. Just an expression. So as far as the sequence is concerned, now I've had many emails telling me that I'm kind of old school in my teaching, in the sense that, you know, I let the hips turn a lot in the backswing and I'm not creating any distance or resistance between the hips and the shoulders. And I'd like to let you know that I'm not the only guy doing this, okay? Bobby Jones, Harvey Penick, and then you've got a lot of guys on tour. If you look at Bubba Watson, man, that guy's massive off the tee, but have you seen how much hip turn that guy has? It's huge. So if you look at some of the long drive competitors, some have very little hip turn and some have a lot of hip turn. So we need to find a way for you to complete your backswing. It all boils down to that. If you don't have a complete backswing, then you don't have the ability to swat, sling, or whip the club effortlessly through the golf ball. And before you whip that club through the golf ball, you gotta be very planted on something extremely solid, your front foot. So let's say we are old school today and we're doing like Bobby Jones and we're turning the hips as much as possible in the backswing and we're allowing that forward heel to come off the ground like Vijay Singh, Stuart Appleby, how about Padraig Harrington, our British Open winner. We got a lot of good players there that allow that left heel or the forward heel to come off the ground. So let's not generalize, shall we? So let's stick to the facts. We want a full backswing, so I want to feel like I got a full backswing. And in order for me to do so from my left-handed swing, notice how I'm still inside my left foot, like Phil. Phil is another guy who lifts his forward heel. And then the first move down is going to be to plant that forward heel with pressure. I'm not going to slide off the heel. I can plant this all day long, but I got nothing solid to hit into. I'm still going to be losing my balance through the shot. So turn, let that forward knee come in behind the ball, but I want you to feel that the top of the backswing is going to be this. In other words, you can't stay on that back foot and hold your position there. That means you would be stuck there and you swayed slightly over to your backside. So it's turn and fall. So I want to feel like I'm falling through the golf ball. You'll notice how that heel plants well before the swish of the club. Now if you want a really cool video, it is now on YouTube. Just type in Fred Astaire Golf and it'll take you to a really nice video. It's a couple of minutes long, and watch Fred Astaire tap dance and hit the ball at the same time. You'll see that his left foot is always planting or tapping before you hear the skip of the club through the ball, and he's hitting on a nice hard surface to start with. The guy was a really good golfer, so check that out. So turn, plant, whip, like a waltz. Turn, plant, whip. So I'm not going to whip, plant. That's the key. So for all of you who are backhanders, to me it feels like I'm tossing a frisbee. Turn, plant, sling the frisbee. Or I take an axe and I'm chopping into the tree. So you notice how braced I am? Boom. Boom. So it's lots of momentum braced up against my forward side. Here we go. Turn, plant, whip. Very solid shot. Very straight flying. Now you're also going to notice that my left heel, my right heel is planted. Once it's planted, it just doesn't budge. How about that one? Wonderful. So if you're doing this, you are in excellent company. Bobby Jones, Sam Snead, Ben Hogan, Jack Nicklaus. The list goes on. So don't buy into the swing style of the day, like Padraig Harrington just in the recent Golf Digest magazine is saying, you know, it's the swing tip du jour, right? Trying to coil upper body against lower body. For you backhanders, this is going to feel awful. Johnny Miller even said it. He says, I get my X factor, the separation between hips and shoulders, on my downswing. That's where you're going to feel, once that heel plants, you'll feel a beautiful separation of the legs here, and you'll feel how that is what's going to coil up the muscles in your back, and this is what's going to give you that slingshot effect through the golf ball. Oh, that feels good. So I hope you enjoyed that.